Okay, so now I'm going to share with you one of my favorite powerful features inside the Ultimatum theme framework, and this is something called assigning layouts. Now, keep in mind we only have the one layout, so they're all going to be assigned to the same layout because we only have the one layout. So we're going to clone this layout, and let's just call this, for lack of a better term, let's just call this layout V2. Now, just so it's visually different, I'm just going to keep it really simple here. I'm just going to choose to change that to slider 3. So it's just visually different. And save the layout. Let's go back to our layout screen. And let's clone this again. Again, we'll keep it really simple here. We're just going to call this version 3. And in this particular case, I don't want to have a slideshow at all, so I'm just going to delete the slideshow. Bye-bye. And save the layout. Now, this is really pretty cool stuff what I'm about to share with you. If you'll notice up here, in addition to creating a new layout, or going back to our templates tab, there's something called assign layouts. So if I click assign layouts, I'll be presented with a dialog box, and what it's going to do is ask me the type of pages that I want to pull up based on my post type or my page type. Pretty cool stuff, I think. So as an example, if I'm on a search page, I want to assign, let's go, just so it's visually different, let's go to the layout 3 and save that. Okay, now you'll notice that search is going to pull up layout 3, and if you, for whatever reason, if you decide, well, I made a mistake there, then I can just delete that and get rid of it. Okay, so let's go back to that again, assign layouts, and I want to make my search page go to layout 3. Now this will do it globally, but what's going to override that is if you have a physical page tied to that particular layout, which we demonstrated in previous videos. Okay, let's go back to assign layouts. And if I have a single post, I want to bring up layout 2 and save that. Okay, so let's understand how that would work. Let's keep this up here. Let's hold down the control key and go to view site, and let's bring this up in a new tab. Again, right click, control click, Macintosh, Windows. All right, now this is my main layout, nothing's changed. But if I click this, this is going to take us to a single post. The single post is going to bring up layout 3, which had slider 3. Okay, so let's go up here and search something. I'm just going to search for, let's search for the word post. And actually, I didn't spell it correctly. That would certainly help. Post. Okay, and it's going to bring up this layout. Now, why did it bring up this layout? Let's examine that. It brought up the layout with no slider. Why did it do that? Well, let's examine that once again. Let's go back to Edit Layout, go back to Layout Screen, and we can see that the search is layout 3, and layout 3 doesn't have the slider, and that's exactly what it did. So this is a really, really cool part of what you can assign to different pages based on this criteria. Okay, so if I have a page that comes up, a page is anything that's over here on the page, you can have a different option come up based on that page, or a post category, WordPress training, etc., etc. So definitely utilize this because it's going to create a better experience and a more time-efficient building experience using the Ultimatum theme frame. They thought of everything, and it's a really cool thing. So again, assigning layouts, of course, you'd have to have those layouts built. So again, I can't overemphasize this enough, but if you have a layout built, get in the habit of cloning that and then either taking away or adding things to it. Don't get in the habit of building layouts totally 100% from scratch. It's not a good way to work. That's why there's a clone option here. Now you'll notice that this layout is my default layout. If I decided to make this my default layout, of course, I would click right there. So again, I just want to review that's not going to, what's going to override any of these assigned layouts is a page that actually goes physically to that layout. So as an example, let's say that I want to, let's just clone this one more time. And just so it's visual, we'll call this version 4 page. Okay, and just so you can actually see that this is actually for pages, what we can do here is I'm going to take my WYSIWYG. Where'd it go? Oh, right there. I'm just going to take this and drag this to the top. Put that right at the top. And I'm just going to put in here 4 pages only. This way you can visually see that this is a layout for pages only. And save the layout. So if I go back into here and I go to assign layouts, I'm going to say, look, if I have a page layout, have that go to the page layout. And I'm going to save that. So let's put that into practical tests. So let's go back up here to view page. And if I go to this page here, block quote page, okay, now notice that it didn't bring up because this has been assigned. How do I know that? Okay, well, actually, my mistake on that. That one's not been assigned. Let me just examine something here. Let me just share with you the slight mistake I made. When I went into here, and this is the WYSIWYG, I meant to select output the title. If you don't output the title, well, the title is not going to be outputted, so I forgot to click that box. But again, this is how we learn. This is how we learn. Okay, so if it's not showing up. So this page is coming up because it's going to that page. Now, however, if I decide to edit this page again, same page, and I'm going to physically select a slider for it to go to. So I'm going to have it go to, let's have it go to layout 2 and update the page. So if I preview this page, okay, it's going to go to that page. It's not going to go to the page I assigned it to. Very important step, because any page that you physically change to other than default is generic. But I want this to physically go to a page. So it'd be kind of foolish for me to say, well, let's go to this because it's going to go to that by default. If I change this to default, it's going to go to that page because that's what's in my assigned layout. Does that make sense? Okay, let's just review this again. Let's go back to our templates. Let's go back to our layouts and assign. Okay, so we assign our pages to go to this particular layout, and any page that is set to automatically go to a default layout. So as an example, this child page, I'm pretty sure, is already going to a default layout, which it is. So this is going to now adhere to the assigned page layout. However, if I want to override that, then I would have it go to a different page. So I'm going to have it go to a page with no slider, and I'm going to update that. So therefore, if I view this page, you'll see that it goes to a page with no slider. However, if I change that back to default, then it's going to adhere to whatever I set up in the assigned page dialog box. So now if I go to view the page, you're going to see it for pages only. And again, I just made that very visual. So get to know assigning pages, but also understand what it's going to do for you, that you can still, so if you had, let's take this as an example. If you had 50 pages, you just want to globally assign, okay, if it's a page, boom, I want to go to this layout. But out of those 50 pages, maybe you want to pick a handful of pages, 2, 3, 4, maybe a customer service page or a specific page for a product that goes to that particular layout. Well, you can do that simply by going to edit page and assigning anything but default. The second it says default, it's going to let the assigned pages override this setting. But if you physically change it to something else, then this has precedence over the assigned layout. And that's assigning layout, which is really, really cool.